What's needed to boost public hygiene here in Singapore? Well, suggestions raised include enforcement and education. These were brought up at a virtual panel over the weekend in line with the Public Hygiene Council's 10th anniversary.
And we're joined now by two of the panelists. Edward D'Silva is the council's chairman, and Samantha Thian is the founder of Seastainable, a social enterprise supporting marine conservation in Southeast Asia. Thank you both. Edward, I come to you first. It's been a decade since the Public Hygiene Council was set up, and with heightened awareness on hygiene thanks to COVID-19, how far are we from targets, and what are the areas your council will focus on moving forward?
Oh, unfortunately, we are still a long way off the targets that we have been aiming for. And the few areas that we would like to focus in our new journey ahead will be the students, parents, seniors, and business operators. So we would like to target them and send out different messaging to them to see how they can change their mindsets and work towards being a truly clean city.
Samantha, let's bring you in on the conversation here. This has got to be a whole of community effort. So as Edward has just said there, it's got to do with changing these mindsets. But how challenging is it going to be to prompt people into the right kind of action?
I think it's going to be very challenging. I think growing up, culturally, we've always, left litter behind. So I think it's going to take a generation to change. But at the same time, I'm very positive seeing how, the community has rallied, especially for World Cleanup Day over the weekend. We see people taking time out just to go and clean the parks and the spaces around them. So although I know that it's going to be a lot of work, a lot of education, a lot of changing mindsets, I think we're on the right track.
And Edward, littering was one of the issues brought up. How big of a problem is that currently, and have there been noticeable consequences?
Well, it has been a big problem over the last 10 to 15 years. But these ordinary Singaporeans don't see that, because at 6 a.m. in the morning, the cleaners are already doing their job cleaning up all the public spaces. So they don't see the amount of litter collected. So that's where we like to show how serious littering is. And if every Singaporean could help not to throw the litter, we could save a lot of money and time. And especially when our cleaners are seniors who are 60 years and above. And it's going to be a big problem 10 years from now in that sense. So we would like to encourage our Singaporeans to really take a big mindset change and see how they can nudge everybody to clean up the public spaces and take a personal responsibility to ensure that the public spaces around us will be clean and not be cleaned by cleaners.
Samantha, there have been lots of Groundup initiatives on this front, and more of them have sort of grown over the years as well. You're involved in some of those. Can you share with us perhaps what's being done and how the public can contribute?
I think it's great. We see so many Groundup organizations that are starting to organize their own cleanups. So one of the initiatives that I started is called the East Coast Beach Plan, because during COVID, with all the malls and a lot of places in lockdown, we saw so many people starting to go to the beach. So we started this initiative where we encourage people to not gather in groups, but just go with your friends, go with your family. If you're going to the park to exercise, to pick up litter when you see it. And at the same time, what we want to do is be able to track and manage. So we also have a group where we encourage each other to share, what's going on at the ground, how much litter they've picked up. And I think that's been very helpful because, you're not able to interact with so many people. So seeing all these virtual efforts online really help keep us going. And I think we should also, encourage litter picking, not just on the beaches, but also our recreational parks, our hawker centers. if it takes 1-2 seconds to pick it up and dispose it correctly, why not?
Certainly everybody has to do their part. Thank you very much to both of you for joining us this evening and talking to us about this important issue. Edward D'Silva, their chairman of the Public Hygiene Council, and Samantha Thian, environmental advocate and founder of Seastainable.